All right, I think we're ready to go. Happy Oscar Eve, everybody. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday. And it's that time of the year, so to speak, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just adjust here. Okay, now we're ready to go. All right, so happy Oscar Eve. We have the Oscars tomorrow evening. Hopefully, everybody who's watching this sees this before the Oscars. If not, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get this video up tonight. Anyway, so what I traditionally do before the Oscars is I reveal my final predictions. And if you saw my last video, not much is new. Just one category I did change who would win. But, and really no new development. So this is going to be a pretty similar video. Except what I usually do is I usually have one person, a random person, who puts in their say. This year I changed it up a little bit. Instead of one person, we now have 11 other people. That's right, I got a whole bunch of people to do this year, and the results are very interesting. Let's see what the results are. All right, let's go. I usually go from the top down. We're gonna go from the bottom up this year, from the ballots that we were using. So the first category is sound mixing. All right, I say this one goes to Whiplash, and including myself, we had 12 people total in this vote, and Whiplash was the popular vote here. It was very close though. Whiplash had 5 votes. Interstellar has 4, and American Sniper is in this category too. That had 2 votes. Birdman had 1 vote. Unbroken is the other candidate in this category. No votes for Unbroken. Yeah, so I have Whiplash ahead here, and definitely Interstellar and American Sniper are the only two I think that can take it down. But this will be uh, if what I'm hearing is true, and that is that Whiplash is kind of one of the more popular votes just across general the Academy because it's got 5 nominations: in acting, a writing, picture, and the sound mixing here, and then also what's the other one for? What am I missing? Um, oh geez, what's the other one for? It's not for editing. That's right, editing. I was about to say what's missing, but editing is too. And Whiplash is actually, with the exception of probably Best Picture, a formidable candidate in all the other 4 categories here. And I have it winning mixing. I have it winning another one, which we'll get to eventually. So 2 wins for Whiplash is a really good score out of 5 nominations. It is like I think it's my second place vote in editing and also in the screenplay category. It's in adapted screenplay. So if it wins those 2 as well, I will not be shocked, to say the least. Okay, heading over to documentary feature next, and my vote was for Citizen 4, as far as who I think is going to win, and that also is the popular vote with 5 votes. We also have a pretty split otherwise. We have 1 for Finding Vivian Mayer, or Mayer, however you pronounce it, 3 each for Last Days in Vietnam and Salt of the Earth, and Virunga has 0 votes. Kind of surprising. I've heard Virunga actually got a couple of votes from just across through the grapevine of what I've been hearing. Makeup and hairstyling next. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Citizen 4's got this one in the bag, though. This one was a pretty landslide win for Guardians of the Galaxy in our little pool going here. Well, not pool. Nobody bet money on this, but I say Grand Budapest Hotel is going to win this one. That had me and 2 other people, and Foxcatcher even got a couple of votes, which shows, yeah, this one could go any way, really. Foxcatcher did not win anything at the Makeup Guild Awards. I think it was only up for 1 or 2 categories, though. I think Guardians won one award, and Grand Budapest won one of the bigger awards. So I have Grand Budapest winning. Costume design is up next, and this, for me, Grand Budapest is going to be the winner. But 12 votes, it was split 6-6 between Grand Budapest Hotel and Into the Woods. And yeah, I think those are the only 2 really that have a shot of winning. Yeah, no votes for Maleficent, nothing for Inherent Vice, nothing for Mr. Turner. Yeah, those, if any of those 3 pull it off, that's gonna be another one of those big, like I was mentioning last time. It's like that's one of those epic victories where you're just like, where the hell did it come from? Okay, cinematography is up next, and this was again a landslide win. And this time I agree, Birdman. 9 votes for Birdman. The other 3 went to Grand Budapest Hotel, which I argue is in second place here. Ida also has a chance since it's going to be a huge threat in foreign film category. So yeah, I think Birdman has this one easily, very easily. Production design is up next, another landslide win, and it's for Grand Budapest Hotel. I agree, 9 votes there. 2 for Interstellar, 1 for Into the Woods. So, and I think, yeah, those are, again, the only 2 that can really take down Grand Budapest. If they do, that's another shocker. But I think Grand Budapest has that one very easily. Okay, original song. This is another one. I was kind of surprised at the vote. I say Glory from Selma has this one very easily. I mean, it won the Globe. I believe it won BAFTA as well. Oh wait, BAFTA didn't have a song category this year. Never mind. If it was up at BAFTA, I would imagine Selma would have won. If not, then maybe one of the other candidates here. But Selma only has 3 votes. The popular vote is for Everything is Awesome from the Lego Movie with 7 votes. And then Lost Stars from Begin Again has 2 votes. Yeah, for me personally, either Selma or Begin Again has the better song. I also agree, yeah, Everything is Awesome is another great, really good song, though. So any of those 3, no votes for the Beyond the Light song or for Glenn Campbell's I'll Be Me song or whatever it was. Live action short. This was really split. I think Phone Call has this one, the Phone Call. Boogaloo, what was the full title? I only wrote down part of the title here. On our official Oscar ballot, if I can look it up. Boogaloo and Graham, that's it. Boogaloo and Graham has the popular vote here at 5 votes. Phone Call has 4, so that's a close one. We had 2 votes for Butterlamp and 1 for Parvena. Parvena, that's right. Nothing for Aya there, so yeah, I think Phone Call has that one. But Boogaloo, I've actually heard might steal that one, so we'll see how that goes. All right. Best Visual Effects. This was kind of a tight race amongst us 12 voting, and Planet of the Apes won this one. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, I should say, with 5 votes, and then we had 3 votes for Interstellar, which I think is going to win, and we had 2 votes each for Guardians of the Galaxy and for X-Men Days of Future Past. No votes for Captain America Winter Soldier. Best Foreign Film, very split here, at least 1 vote for each candidate here in our pool here, and that was 5 votes, and mine is one of them for Ida going to win here. We had 3 for Leviathan, which won the Globe, so I guess that might be in second place. Wild Tales got 2, Timbuktu and Tangerines each got 1, so yeah, that one's pretty split, but I think Ida has this one. If not, maybe Wild Tales, maybe Leviathan, but I think that one's going to be pretty easy to call, though, for Ida. I mean, it's the only one that got another nomination in any category, so. All right, then we have an even split on original score. We have 4 each for Interstellar and Theory of Everything. I think Theory of Everything has this one. If anything's going to take it down, though, I don't think it's Interstellar. I think it's Grand Budapest Hotel. And Grand Budapest Hotel and Imitation Game each have 2 votes, no votes for Mr. Turner in this category. Yeah, I think that one's a pretty easy one for me, anyways, Theory of Everything. But yeah, the Grand Budapest score was good. Yeah, Desplat, I think his best score was probably either Imitation Game or Unbroken. And I like the Monuments Men one, too. But yeah, Grand Budapest also a good score. So he had a good year. But yeah, any of those, Interstellar, I think, I don't know, pretty good score. I haven't seen Mr. Turner, so no comment there. Anyways, yeah, so even split there, but I think Theory of Everything is going to win. Animated short, this was an easy one for mostly everybody. Feast, of course, because it showed in front of Big Hero 6. And the Disney factor, I think, also helps it out here. Dam Keeper has 2 votes. Bigger Picture and A Single Life both have 1. Nothing for Me and Molten. Me and My Molten, sorry. Yeah, I think Feast has got it. I think the Big Heroes playing in front of Big Hero 6 is what's going to win it. The Oscar. Sound editing is up next. And another split. This time 4 for Interstellar and 4 for The Hobbit, Battle of the Five Armies. However, I think it goes to American Sniper. Just me and one other person agreed there. And 2 votes for Birdman, nothing for Unbroken. So, yeah, that one I think Sniper, if anything is going to take it down, though, it's either going to be Interstellar or maybe Birdman. Maybe Birdman. Like I said, if Birdman is our best picture, and if they liked it enough throughout the Academy, it could pick up not just picture, director, and cinematography. It could pick up one of these sound awards. Michael Keaton could go along for the ride, and its screenplay. It could win. I think the maximum it can win is 6 of its 9 votes. For sure, Emma Stone and Edward Norton are not going to win, and for sure, I'm pretty sure that what's the other? Birdman nomination? What else did I get nominated for? I'm trying to think. Anyways, but yeah, I don't think Emma Stone or Edward Norton really stand a chance. Um, yeah, let's just leave it there. Okay, next we go to adapted screenplay, and this one was a pretty easy vote for everybody. 7 votes in favor of Imitation Game, and I agree, Imitation Game has this one. The WGA win, I think, pushed it ahead, but Whiplash has 4 votes here. So it's well, I mean, not a landslide win here for Imitation Game, but certainly an advantage win. 1 vote for American Sniper, nothing for for Inherent Vice or for Theory of Everything. Thank God. Worst screenplay of the year, I think, is my vote for Theory of Everything. I just hated that. The script was just terrible, in my opinion, of course. And sure enough, it shows up here on the Academy ballot. Documentary short. This was me and only one other person are going for Crisis Hotline, which I think has this one totally in the bag. The subject matter, I have not seen it, but the subject matter is about postmodern stress disorder for war veterans, which I don't think anybody who was I'm trying to think, because I know with some of these people who were voting here with me, of these 12 people, some of them were voting for their favorites, some were voting for what they think was going to win, some were just picking one. And for this, I think they were maybe just picking one, because White Earth, which I've not heard anybody talk anything about in this category, has 8 of the 12 votes. Nothing for Our Curse, but yeah, and me and one other person for Crisis Hotline, 1 for Joanna, 1 for The Reaper. So yeah, I think the subject matter for Crisis Hotline, I think, is going to give it the win. Film editing, another not perfect split, I should say, but another split here on who's going to win. 4 for Boyhood and 4 for Grand Budapest Hotel. I think Boyhood's got this one. The real threat here is the next most popular vote, which is Whiplash, which has 2 votes here. And then Imitation Game and American Sniper each have 1. So this is a pretty split category then. If even us 12 can't decide on, at least one film has a vote here. So as long as nobody's getting shut out, it's a pretty split category. Yeah, Whiplash winning the BAFTA was a huge, huge push for it. It did not. If it would have won Ace Eddie, I think it would have been no problem that Whiplash was going to have this in the bag. But they gave it to Boyhood. But then again, we have to consider last year the Ace Eddie award went to Captain Phillips, which lost the Oscar. And BAFTA last year went with Rush, which was not nominated at Oscar. So, boy, maybe the next one, maybe Grand Budapest wins. I don't know. So this one's one that we're just gonna have to just wait till the envelope opens to figure out who wins. But unless we see Whiplash, let's say they present sound mixing and supporting actor first. If Whiplash wins those both, then which is what I'm predicting, then I think film editing is going to be the next one we see. They usually save the screenplay categories. They usually save those right before they get to actor and actress. And of course, picture is going to be the last one, so we don't know. But I think film editing is the last shot, I think, for Whiplash, unless it pulls off that screenplay award. Okay, animated feature, and this one is actually a very, 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 very far ahead victory here for us 12 voting for Big Hero 6, which has 7 votes. Me and 2 other people say How to Train Your Dragon 2, and one person says Princess Kaguya. And I think, these are the only 3 that can win. Song of the Sea was the... Oh, by the way, I should say only 11 here. 1 person had a written-in vote for the Lego Movie, so just to say that. But yeah, I think those are the only 3 that can win. Box Trolls, Song of the Sea were kind of like the, crossing out Lego Movie picks. So that's a pretty That one I think is a pretty easy category to call for me because Training Dragon 2 won the Globe and the Annie Awards, and Lego Movie won everything else it was nominated for. Like Critics' Choice, I believe, had an animated feature category, and BAFTA went with Lego Movie, and it's not nominated here. So, original screenplay is up next, and this one is kind of a surprising vote. We had a 4-3-3-1-1 way of how it goes. And the advantage goes to Nightcrawler, which I don't think wins. I think Grand Budapest has this one. And Grand Budapest and Birdman each have 3 votes here. Yeah, I think and then Boyhood has 1, Foxcatcher has 1. Yeah, original screenplay. After WGA, I was like, yep, I'm calling it. Grand Budapest Hotel wins because it's won BAFTA. It won a lot of critics awards. It won the WGA, which Birdman was not eligible for. So if Birdman had been eligible there, and if Birdman had won, I think that would have been a huge, that would have told me, yep, stick with Birdman, which is what I was voting for beforehand. But yeah, Grand Budapest, beating out Birdman at BAFTA was huge. And then, well, they didn't, but BAFTA only gave Birdman 1 though, so we have to consider that as well. Yeah, I think Grand Budapest has this one, but the popular vote here goes to Nightcrawler. Supporting actress is up next, and this is actually kind of split. We have 5 votes for Patricia Arquette, mine being one of them. I think she has this one in the bag, no problem. We have 3 votes for Emma Stone, 2 for Keira Knightley, and 2 for Meryl Streep. Nothing for Laura Dern. Yeah, Arquette has this one in the bag, no problem. Then we get over to Best Actor, and this is, boy, 6 votes went to Michael Keaton, which is huge. 3 votes for Benedict Cumberbatch, 2 for Eddie Redmayne, 1 of them is mine, and 1 for Bradley Cooper, 0 for Steve Carell. Yeah, I think with BAFTA and SAG and a Globe at his side, I think Redmayne is, he's very much ahead here. But Michael Keaton, if Birdman goes all the way for Best Picture, he could go along with it. We'll get to director and picture here in a minute, and I'll say how Keaton can win there, too, even if Birdman doesn't win director and picture. There's a way still that Keaton wins. Okay, Best Actress is up next, and this is actually split between 4 and 4 for Julianne Moore and Rosamund Pike. I think just about everybody who voted here has seen Gone Girl, and everybody really liked Rosamund Pike, myself included. Then we had 3 for Felicity Jones, 1 for Reese Witherspoon, and none for Marion Cotillard. But yeah, I think no problem. Julianne Moore has this. This is kind of one of those, you've been nominated enough times. It's time to award you one. The campaign last year for 12 Years a Slave was "It's time." Well, it's time for Julianne Moore. Haven't seen the movie yet, still, but definitely this week. If I don't see it by the end of this week, I'm gonna have to wait for it on DVD. Supporting actor, a landslide victory for J.K. Simmons. Definitely, he's got this one in the bag. 8 votes for J.K. 2 each for Ethan Hawke and Edward Norton, which are the only 2 that can take him down if we have a really, really odd victory pattern here. And Duvall and Ruffalo got no votes. All right, director is up next. And we have 6 going for Richard Linklater, which goes against DGA, which is why I'm not one of those 6. I'm with 2 other people and say Iñárritu has it for Birdman. And then we had 2 votes for Morton Tildum for Imitation Game, 1 for Wes Anderson, and Bennett Miller for Foxcatcher, 0 votes. I'm sticking with the DGA being right. What is it? I think I did the calculation. I think it's like 80-something% of the time they get it right, which is really, really good news for Iñárritu and really bad news for Linklater. So, yeah. All right. Then Best Picture, and we have a wide variety of votes here. We have only Grand Budapest Hotel had 0 votes. So we have 4 for Boyhood, we have 3 for Birdman, 1 each for American Sniper, Imitation Game, Selma, Theory of Everything, and Whiplash. Wow. And like I said, none for Grand Budapest, which is very, very, very strange how Grand Budapest gets a vote almost everywhere else it's nominated, but not here. Anyways, yeah, I think it's definitely between Boyhood and Birdman. I don't think the 3 years in a row splitting director and picture, I don't think that's going to happen. I have done the math since my last video, and it did happen once that we had a three times in a row it split. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong here, but the years were 1935, 36, and 37. All three of those years, director and picture split. But this was way back when they had the preferential ballot first established. I believe 35 was the first year they had the preferential ballot, too. I'm going to do, since I know what I'm looking up here, which I believe was the 8th Academy Awards. I'll just share you what the split, how the split went. Okay, so we had for 1935, Mutiny on the Bounty won for picture. Director went to John Ford for The Informer, which also won actor that year. And then the next year, 36, Great Ziegfeld won for picture, and director went to Frank Capra for Mr. Deeds Goes to Town. And 37, we had a split with The Life of Emile Zola, which won picture, and The Awful Truth with Leo McCarey for director. He won that one. So yeah, that's and then the next year was the year of You Can't Take It With You, which won director, picture, and did it win an acting? No, it did. Surprisingly, it didn't win an acting or a screenplay award, which could happen for Birdman. It's kind of interesting. That was the next year. Anyways, but I'd say, yeah, we could, if you do the math there, that's 80, almost 80 years exactly since that happened. Are we due for another 3-year in a row split? I don't think so. Now, like I said, since I have Inarritu and Birdman up for picture and director for the win, there is a way still, if Boyhood wins director and picture, which I'm not predicting, I don't think it's quite going to happen, there is a way that that Michael Keaton can still win, even if Birdman isn't going to win director or picture. And that is, okay, let's take a look here. Americans, like I said in the last video, and it's stayed the same, but every film here up for Best Picture is going to be up for is going to win an Oscar in one way or another. So Sniper has one of the Sound Awards. Birdman, of course, has its awards. Boyhood has 2 awards. Grand Budapest is going to have 4, if I counted right. Imitation Game is going to have its vote there for screenplay. Selma has the song. Theory of Everything has actor and score, and Whiplash has an acting award and a sound award. So look at it this way. Every film has a big place to vote for it. For like even Selma, which only has 2 votes, the big way to vote for Selma is for the song category. And then for Sniper, really the only one I think that's left out to lunch here as far as not giving it a big, one of the top 8 categories, which is picture, director, the 4 acting, and then the 2 screenplay. I call those the big 8. The only way other than Selma, the only film other than Selma not going to be awarded in one of those top 8 categories is American Sniper, which has just the sound category to win. But if you look at it, Birdman has the next possible chance. If they go Boyhood, Birdman is not going to get one of those top 8. Grand Budapest will have its screenplay. Imitation Game will have its screenplay. That's the big 8 to award it. Theory of Everything has a big 8 with Best Actor. Whiplash has a big 8 with Best Supporting Actor. Boyhood is going to have, no matter what, one of the big 8 for Supporting Actress. And then that leaves Birdman to win the top 2. That's its way to award it. And then Sniper and Selma, the only 2, really. So, okay, that's really about it, though. The only thing I'm gonna say is this, and that is what's gonna be the one award, the one winner who is going to be this year's Adrian Brody. That's going to be this year's Christoph Waltz, the unexpected win that kind of shocks the world for about 30 seconds. And I think there's a couple of possibilities here. The first possibility is Bradley Cooper. Now, I say this. I say if American Sniper loses both of the sound categories, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to win film editing or screenplay. If it loses everything up to that point, there is a possibility there that one of those big 8 awards is going to go to American Sniper. And where are you going to award it? The only place you really can, which is Best Actor. And take into consideration, Cooper's been nominated the last 2 years in a row. The last time we saw, oh boy, I'll have to way go back. But I think the last time we saw an actor or an actress nominated three times in a row and not win, oh boy, it's been a little while actually. Like Streep has done it where she's with the Iron Lady. Um, that was kind of a way after like Doubt and Devil Wears Prada. Um, let's see. Olivier has been able to do it where he's gotten, I think, yeah, like Peter O'Toole and Richard Burton each had 8 nominations and none of them won anything. Um, but yeah, it's been a little while in recent history, I think, since we've had three in a row and he or she loses every time. Um, yeah, so that's definitely he's gonna if anybody is really gonna upset the best actor race, let's say if Keaton and Redmayne split it, who are you going to go to? You can't turn Cumberbatch. I don't think has the support. Carell definitely doesn't have the support. Bradley Cooper. He's in the film that has grossed more money than any other Best Picture nominee. It's like number one or two or three of the top grossing films of 2014 domestically. Um, I mean, it's the most talked about film in the last 2 or 3 months at the box office and also across the country with the controversies it stirs up. I mean, it's one of the most talked about, viewed, money making films of the last quarter of the year here and in the first part of 2015. So I think no matter what, it has to win. I don't think it goes 0 for 6. I mean, it has to win at least one of those sound categories, and if it loses those two, Cooper might pull it off if Redmayne doesn't have the support we think he has, and if Keaton can't quite pull it off, they'll turn to Bradley Cooper, I think. Yeah. And then another upset I think we could see is Richard Linklater winning director and then Birdman pulling it off for Best Picture. We do have actually quite a few people I've seen online in their predictions going for Linklater for director and then Birdman for picture. Or the split of that, the reverse of that, which is Inarritu for director and then Boyhood for picture, not Birdman. Boy, I think it's between those two definitely for the top two categories. No matter which way they go, one I think is going to win at least one. I mean, I don't think Boyhood wins both. Um, unless what I'm predicting, which is Birdman just wins the top two, and then Boyhood has supporting actress to go on. But if they go Boyhood for the top two, then and then they go with Redmayne for actor, then Birdman has 0 of the top 8, which then leads me to believe, okay, if they're not going to do that, then it has a better shot at original screenplay. Then there's the chance to upset Grand Budapest Hotel. And with 3 wins otherwise, which is makeup, costume design, and production design, 3 might be it for Grand Budapest if they're thinking, okay, we'll split it evenly, which means if Birdman wins the screenplay award, then that means one of two things. That means that's the most it gets other than cinematography, or that means that it's going to be more of a racking up points win for Birdman, which if it does that, it would win screenplay, it'd win director, it'd win picture. It might go all the way for best actor. So that would mean that would be half of the top categories, which I don't think is going to happen. All right, so now that I've thrown all these loops and turns your way of thinking, in case you haven't voted yet, or at home, I should say, the Academy ballots were all due, I think, a week ago now. If not a week ago, this last week they were due. So yeah, if you have a ballot at home, you haven't filled it out yet, just some stuff to consider in the last 24 hours before we head into the ceremony here. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be watching. I don't think I'll be able to do a live reactions. I'll do a post reactions to say what happens. I'll probably get around to that on Monday. Not sure if I'll be able to do it Sunday night. It might get really late, and then I won't, or I'll be too much in shock if, say, American Sniper wins picture and Bennett Miller wins director, or something crazy like that happens. Yeah. One last comment, and it's just going to be about this year in general. This year in general is it's a batshit crazy year for the Oscars. And it's a year we have not seen the likes of this in a long, long time. Most people, I think, compare this year to 2010's year, which was King's Speech versus Social Network, where we had King's Speech uh, really lower in the race until the PGA, the Producers Guild Awards. And then after that, everything turned, and King's Speech won DGA. It won BAFTA. It won just about everything it could then. Um, but the Social Network won like the Globe and the Critics Awards and all that. This year, Boyhood was the presumed frontrunner for a long time, since August. It won the Critics Awards, it won the Golden Globe, and it did win BAFTA. So we have to consider that too. But the three guilds, the Triple Crown, you could call it, the SAG, PGA, and DGA awards have all gone to Birdman. Now, one of those it kind of won by default because SAG we were pretty sure was going to win no matter what for Birdman, even if Boyhood was going to win Picture. The only way Birdman was going to lose is if they go for Grand Budapest or Boyhood. And if they went for Grand Budapest, it was just because it had this gigantic cast, including Oscar winners and nominees. Or if they went for Boyhood just to go with the strain, which they have done before with like Argo and Slumdog Millionaire. They have done that before. Even Crash, they went for it. Yeah, so and then Birdman really fought its way to win PGA, and it really fought its way to win DGA, where we were pretty sure Boyhood had it. Even I was predicting Linklater for DGA after the PGA win for Birdman. So yeah. Anyways, I was gonna do on my blog in late October, early November, right before I saw Birdman, I was gonna say, are we underestimating Birdman? And that was just after it had opened in the 4 or 5 theaters, whatever it opened in U.S. And I was gonna write that, and then I heard the reports of saying no, it's too kooky. There's stuff happening in the movie that doesn't really make sense. It's not gonna appeal much to every category. To every category for the Oscars and all that. So I was like, okay. And then then I saw the film and I was like, yeah, I kind of get it. I mean, are Oscar voters really going to go for a film which includes a man, like the ambiguous ending it has? There's one part where Michael Keaton's flying around the streets of New York. It's like, are they really going to vote for this? And then it's also it has a lot of cynicism to it. It's it's kind of a smart-ass film in some ways. It's a real avant-garde film at other times. Does he have ESP at one point? We're trying to figure out. It's just really all over the wall. But I think, and another thing that everybody is saying, all these awards experts and people that are trying to predict this stuff, they're also saying Birdman has no heart and Boyhood has all heart. I think Birdman has a heart in the way of that scene where Keaton is flying around the streets of New York. I think that's an uplifting, emotional scene. I mean, I wasn't like bawling my eyes out or anything, but I was like, this is kind of what he's wanted. He kind of wants to soar again as not really as Birdman, but he just wants to soar as himself, be himself. And here he is. He's flying around by himself without the bird suit around New York, and it was it was like a really uplifting and happy moment. And I'm like, that's where the film has heart right there. And it also has the heart of being about actors, being about the stage, being about the craft. Really, I just watched it again last night, so this is why it's kind of fresh in my mind. I just picked it up on Blu-ray yesterday, so I got to see it again. And boy, I have to tell you that that screenplay it's my favorite screenplay of the 5 that are up for original screenplay. Birdman's my favorite, not by far. I think definitely the Boyhood script in a lot of its dialogue is real. Like that scene where Arquette has her kind of big blow up moment at the end of the film. That scene is really well written. Ethan Hawke's character his dialogue is just so good. Just the general consensus of how the plot goes in the movie, it's really great. Like that, the first stepfather that comes in, boy, those scenes are really what give the film its dramatic feel. Without that, we could have maybe considered Boyhood a comedy up to that point, but when that happens, boy, you realize, oh, this is a drama. This has dramatic stuff in it, and yeah, I mean, this is a really good year for film in general, though, too. I mean, like I said, let's see here, one, two, three, four, or no, three, sorry, of my top five films of the year are up for Best Picture. And in general, I think another two made it onto my top 10 list of the year. So in the next five slots. So 5 for 8 is a great number to have. And then boy, I mean, the director race, I think they got it just about perfect because I think Inarritu, Anderson, Linklater, three three great films there, and Miller is the real star of Foxcatcher. Anyways, but okay, I think I'm trying to make this video just a little bit shorter than the last couple, so I think I'm just going to end it here and say Birdman for picture, director, Redmayne for actor, Julianne Moore for actress, and J.K. and Patricia have those supporting categories down pat. All right, that's enough for me. Let's see how the Oscars go. Signing off.